You ain't heard this stuff yet. Bottom of the notes.
Bottom of the notes, and it is Belle's turn today.
Yeah.
If you've just tuned in, make sure you listen to 2 days ago was me, then Liam, and now up to Belle.
Oh, you could listen in any order, I guess.
Yeah,
if
you
really
could, but I
wanted.
feel like it makes more sense to listen in order.
We could do the machete order. You know how like some people watch Star Wars, like they go like
Yeah,
what is it, like 4-1?
but that's because it was released in that order, though, right? As
No,
opposed to
the machete order is like when it's all jumbled.
but that's
Why
just
is it
like
called machete?
mechanically, it's like in order of the storyline events.
Yeah, it's
Whereas,
the whole thing.
whereas this would make the most sense if you started on Monday and then went Tuesday and then went Wednesday.
But what about doing it if it made the least sense? Like if you
Well, then you go Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday.
and play it all in
There's no
reverse.
storyline, so it doesn't matter.
But there is, because like on Tuesdays we reference Mondays and today's we're referencing yesterday's, so it makes sense to start on Monday.
Did we?
We did.
Then again, it's like one of those things. If you were listening to this one, you would still get it. You know, sometimes people go to the movies and I never saw the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to see.
No,
it.
you would get it, but it would make more sense, and you'd get all the Easter eggs if you listen
it would
to
It's
hit
like if
harder.
you're watching Friends, you could jump
You
in
know
at
what?
any point and
I
understand
think-
the episode.
I think we should do a redo.
Oh my
Again,
God.
which is a callback to episode 1.
But also
episode 2 had the same joke.
stands
and
alone.
It does, but it would
It
hit
would hit
harder.
harder. It would hit
It'd
harder.
hit harder.
If you were there from the start, it would hit
Yeah.
harder for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, yes, it's my turn to scrape something up from the bottom of my notes in my phone. What I have discovered in Melbourne is a place with a lovely old man in it that deals in...
Is it your house? Got her. You've been clapping. Thanks.
Very
Well, it's certainly
good.
not a family home.
Oh shit! double barrel.
Some could say
Oh,
that because of that,
Good
there's one in my house.
Lord. She's just stumbling around from the first shot, the buckshot, and then I'd hit her with another one. Ga-gonk.
Anyway, I found a place where
Shells.
there's this guy that if you don't have any money, he trades in gifts, which is great.
So it's a shop that sells stuff that you can buy with gifts.
Yeah. So let me backtrack a bit. So you guys know I love sewing, right? I love.
Never known that about you.
I gotta
ever.
say,
Are you serious?
unless it's a new hobby, I wouldn't have a clue.
You're telling me.
I don't think you've ever
Have
sewed.
you paid attention
What do you
to
sew?
me for
What
the
do you
past
sew?
7
You've
years
never
I've
said-
been in your
Have
life?
you brought something in that you've sewed? Have you?
You've never said the word "so" to
I've
me.
been to your house. I've never seen a sewing machine.
Are you serious?
Where's your sewing machine?
At the moment, it's in a cupboard in my apartment, but it was always out at my old houses.
You've
Where?
never
Where?
spoken about sewing.
Where was your other?
Are you serious?
I
Never.
think-
What? When?
attention to
When?
anything I
Reference.
say?
What else have you said that involves sewing?
Well, if I buy stuff from op shops, I usually alter it or change it or make it into something that I want to wear.
I didn't know that.
And if you guys had a hole in like a pair of pants, I could just stitch it up. Like I know how to fix
know
things
that.
as well.
You had a drum room in 2 of your last houses.
That
but
is
you,
true.
But you didn't have a sewing room.
I didn't have a whole room, but there was my sewing machine on a table
Where?
in the spare room.
A lot of rooms in this house.
Oh
I
my
don't know. I
god!
don't know.
Just
Yeah,
accept that I
If
have a hobby
I-
that I have totally told you guys before. Like, oh, I love doing this. I made an Instagram video about a dress that I bought, and I made it. I bought it from Salvos, and I changed it and sewed it to make it into a dress that I wanted.
You like sewing?
This is. I cannot.
I've
I know
Googled-
everything about both of you.
I've googled. It's because we're very open people. I've googled types of stitches. Can you give me some embroidering techniques?
Embroidering ones.
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, well, embroidery is a different type of so sewing.
So don't say cross stitch. That's the most.
Well, there's
common.
like a zigzag stitch, or there's your normal straight stitch, and that's really the only one.
Feels like you're a
maybe.
street sewer. Like you're not like up to
No,
date with like.
yeah, because I did it for year 10, 11, 12. I
It's
did
a-
textiles.
Yep.
And I actually won I got the top marks in textiles for my pair of pajamas that I made. But
So you like sewing?
I love sewing. I
Yeah,
love.
I think it's just. I think what took us both back is how casual it was. Like you guys know me, big sewer. No.
Well, I would think that after 7 years of knowing each
You've
other,
never
that you'd
mentioned
know
it.
this.
You've
It's
never
not like a
said
thing you
it's
talk
not-
about.
When you think Belle, you think op shops, cats, vegetarian. You don't think sewing. You've never
Yeah.
said that.
I agree.
Okay, well, I do. Like, I'll buy a dress, for example, that I really like, the colour and pattern or whatever of.
Like from Shein or whatever, and then
No, from an op shop. But I might not like how it sits, so I'll buy it and then cut it into like a skirt with a crop top. Or like that's the kind of stuff that I like doing. I like doing that stuff. Or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'll
okay.
I'll buy like a big men's blazer and then take it all in and move stuff around so that it fits or it's like nice. Like that's the kind of stuff I like doing. I'm not making something from a piece of
Can
material.
you next time you wear one of these things can you say this is something I've altered?
Sure. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I can wear one tomorrow.
Please do.
Oh, okay. For example, you know that thing I put up on my Insta story a while ago, and it looked like I was naked on the show, and I was wearing that blue
Oh, there's
long dress.
I saw that thing.
Okay, so that was originally had sleeves, and it was like size 16, way too big for me. And then I cut all the sleeves. I made it like strapless. I took it in. I took it up. I moved some of the like stuff around so the pattern changed a bit. That's kind of shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I did it. In
that's
fact,
cool.
I've done another video on my Instagram of like a different dress that I did for Melbourne Fashion Festival, a black and pink one.
Yeah,
my God.
I don't know how to break this to you, but I don't watch your videos.
Yeah, no shit. I'm realizing that now. I might not like Liam's stuff on Insta, but I still watch them.
Yeah.
What? You watched them?
Yes.
You get to the end and go,
Subpar.
another terrible video. I will not interact with this.
Actually, I think there was a Trump on the other day. I couldn't watch that one. I did bail on that one.
Well, you don't mind when he gets rolled out on the show,
No, I think it's great for that. Anyway,
but just in its own box, of course. Like when,
could you tell me one other thing that another thing I like in my life?
You can't sit here and mope about us not knowing about sewing because you don't talk about sewing. This is the first time we've talked about sewing.
I swear I would have in the past
Never.
been like, yeah,
You've
I
never
bought this
brought
and
it
I
up.
did this
You've
to
never-
it.
You've never brought
You know
it
what
up.
it is?
It's like
I probably
you-
told you,
before this,
and
you're like-
you guys know. You guys would just stop listening as soon as I
I
start
reckon
saying,
it's
"Oh
like
yeah, I bought it and I
you
did
decided
this."
today you want to be known as like a sewing.
Yeah,
person.
I'm going to be sewing
God.
girl.
It's like me coming in like bottom of the notes tomorrow and be like, as you guys know, I'm a prolific jet ski user.
Okay, you know what? You know
And
what?
you're like, what? And I go, what the F are you guys talking about? Do you even know me? Ben, I've
know
known you for
what?
like over 10 years.
Yeah,
You don't know that I love
Right
jet
now,
skis?
it feels like you're gaslighting us to believe that you are a sewer.
We are not crazy. We're not crazy people.
I am going to get up a photo of my sewing machine at my house from like months ago. And I know I have it because I sent it to my mum.
How's that going to prove anything?
Because you can see it's not just a today thing.
No, I believe you have a sewing machine at home.
No, I know, but like me
But
sewing.
I also think Liam's bang on when he said today is the day you came in with rebrands.
No!
I'm the sewing
You're
girl.
a sew chick.
Oh, you're so annoying.
Violent Soho.
Anyway, now I'm
So
annoyed because now I want to
fresh.
find this photo.
Autumn 2024. It's probably, they don't make them anymore.
How so can you go?
This is really frustrating now.
What's your bottom of your notes?
Anyway, well, okay.
So. Merry Christmas.
Because I love sewing, which I do and have done since I was at school, this is BS. I love Spotlight, obviously. Spotlight is amazing.
Right,
Also,
okay.
first time hearing about this.
First time you've ever said the word spotlight in front of me.
Well,
As
Sewing
you
and
know,
Spotlight.
you'll find me at Spotlight most days, so collecting material.
Well, sewing and
and
Spotlight
threads.
go hand in hand.
Can I actually, you know what? This is proof that you've never been a sewing girl in my life. And
What?
this is a little bit behind the wizard's curtain, but I think that's fine.
Hmm.
In radio, you're trying to get sponsors for the show. And so we've done multiple times, we've done big write-ups about specifically
It's a good
our
point.
personal
It's a good point.
interests. And you've never said sewing. You've never said spotlight.
That is true, but I usually just stick to like I want to be
Oh,
aligned
right,
with like
so
RSPCA and shit and
I
do something
suppose
for
you
good. I'd rather
normally-
do stuff for good than like I want to sell some fabric.
Oh, that's very noble of you.
But then what about BFT?
Well, I wanted free gym membership out of that, but that didn't
So you,
happen.
do, but you
so
didn't care
I
about
left
free
it.
fabrics and threads.
Well, yeah,
There's
but
holes all over this, you know what I mean?
Well, good thing she's a sewer.
yeah. Well, anyway, far out. I do love Spotlight. And if I can't find a Spotlight, then I'll go to Lincraft because that's like the thing.
Never seen that on one of those lists either. I've never even seen a Lincraft.
I don't know what a
even
Lincraft
is. That...
Lincraft is like a smaller, more boutique Spotlight,
Right.
and there's less of them around.
Yeah.
But
So you
Spotlight's
support
like
your
your
local
Kmart.
Lincraft as well.
Spotlight's like your Bunnings of sewing. Like it's huge.
Right.
There's a lot of them.
Big in
They've
the
got
sewing
everything.
community.
It is. Anyway, so.
So,
You can't stop her, can you?
she just loves it.
So, where I live at the moment, annoyingly, no Spotlight nearby. No Lincraft nearby. But I really wanted this like type of I wanted what's called a hook and eye. Would you guys know what a hook and eye is?
I do know what a hook and eye is.
Do you know? Yeah? What is it?
It's the thing that you use to, it's got a little, like, sharp bit at the end and you use it to cut the thread.
No. No,
I get what you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
That
No,
that
so you
stick.
know when you have a zip on something, in fact, it might be less on guys' clothing, but if you have a zip on like a dress, and then has anyone, like your partners, your wives said like, hey, zip me up, and then at the top, there's like a
Oh,
little
yeah,
latch.
yeah.
So that. So I needed that because
Right,
I
hook and
was sewing something from an op shop, and one of them was broken, so I needed that. Anyway, so I found this like really small kind of old sewing shop near mine, and they had all the fabric I needed. They had all these pieces. It was great. And I went in there and I grabbed everything I needed, and the guy was lovely. I'd say he's about 70 something. And he goes, okay, this is all you want? And I said, yep. And he goes, all right, well, do you want to pay for it? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, or I take food and coffee instead. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, oh, well, there's a cafe next door. Instead of paying me, I really want a coffee right now. Can you go buy me a coffee and a sandwich, come back?
Yeah.
And it was like half the price of what I would have paid for all this
It's
stuff.
just a slippery slope because one day it's a coffee and a cucumber sandwich, and then the next day,
That's weird.
you know,
Okay,
he wants
well,
a baguette.
No.
or
Okay,
something.
well, I went, so I said, I was like, hell yeah, because it will be half the price of what I'd pay you. So I went next door, and he said, oh, just tell them it's for, I can't remember his name, it was like Dave, let's call him Dave. And he said, oh, just tell them it's for Dave. So I went next door and I said, hey, I'm getting a coffee and one of these sandwiches for Dave next door. And the girl's like, oh, yeah, every day.
Does it all the
yeah,
time.
all the time. Like, people go in
Interesting.
and he goes, oh, well, if you don't want to pay half price, but just go next door and grab me a coffee and some food.
It's
So,
weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
and
it
she
must
was like,
be
yep, no worries.
Because if you paid him, that's an official transaction, so that goes into his till. Therefore, he
Yeah, I
pays
guess
tax
so.
on that.
But then
so-
again, how much money is this guy making if he's
Yeah.
in a main sort of store?
Well,
like,
I started
unless
talking
it's
to
a bit of a
him.
front or something.
I don't know. I was talking to him after, and I just started saying, like, I've never been in this shop, didn't even know it was here. And he's like, yeah, a lot of people don't know, but he's been there for like 50 years. He was like, I have been here for decades. And he's been there. He's fine. I think business has been fine, obviously. But it's
Yeah.
very cute as well. But
well,
yeah,
with
no.
Belle Jackson, the prolific sewer in town.
Oh my God.
He was been pretty excited when you moved in. Well, there's a few years of sandwiches looked after.
You know, I hate the fact that we've done this before. We had to call Christian and say, does Belle like this? But if we called my mum, she would back me up. Because her and I
No.
also have sewed together.
We're not debating that you are a sewer at home.
Oh,
We're
I
debating
know
that
you said
you
you
mentioned
are.
it in front of us. You've never mentioned
because
It's just
I
I don't think it's a
you know
part
what?
of your
I think-
personality.
Like
I
you're not allowed.
think-
You're not allowed to be shocked that we don't know you so.
No, I genuinely think I have said this to you guys when we've been like out somewhere or doing something, and I've said like you've been like nice dress, and I'd be like, oh well, actually I did. And as soon as I
I
start,
was actually at Lindcraft this morning. I got this hook and eye. Yeah, as you would know, I'm
would
a
have
prolific
just
sewer.
stopped listening. You would have 110% stopped listening.
Hey, Belle, how's your day? Yeah, good to sewing. Shut up, whatever. Moving on.
Wow, I
don't know.
can't.
It was a fun. It's my for what it's worth, my favourite bottom of the notes.
And hopefully you listen to this in order, so it's like
yes, of course.
the fun builds.
Yeah.
All right. See you.
Bye.